All right. So I guess now you understand what the plan was.
Absolutely. At Colts Law, we talk Indianapolis Colts football.
We're going to stick to what we know, fundamentals and technique, 1% better every day.
What's going on, Colts Nation? I'm Lawrence Owen. This is Colts Law. With me, as usual, Colts Loyalist and, oh boy, I don't know. I feel better. Not perfect, but better. Now I got a nice little warm jacket on though because I'm feeling a little chilly. It might just be because I'm thinking of freaking Buffalo and freaking late November, so that could be the problem. I don't know. I want to give a quick shout out to everybody who's already in the chat already. Appreciate you. Fuzzy, Ant Rogers, Zach Erlinson, Truitt, Brandon Wood, Wise Sway. What's going on? And of course, my boy Loyalist was the first one in here going, what up? Go Colts. All right. So you are going to hear my voice come and go. All right. You're going to hear it crack occasionally. I'm still not perfect. Obviously, that's going to take time. But I'm good for now. So I appreciate each and every one of you. How have you been, Chuck?
I've been great, man. I'll tell you what, it's been one of those weeks. You know, the weather's changing, and it's just hard to get my mojo going. Yeah, you reached out to me and said, "Hey, you want to do a show today?" And I was like, "Boom, mojo back, back to talking football." Felt great.
Yeah, this week's that week, man. I was a little nervous going on Buffalo Fanatics with Rico yesterday. Because of my chest and my voice, and I wasn't fully back yet, but he said that my energy was good and that he loved what I brought, so I appreciate him having me out there. I'm gonna let you take over for a second.
Oh, all right. Yeah, like you talk about, guys. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, the channel's Buffalo Fanatics, and these guys really put on a nice channel, a nice show, a nice energy. And then last night, Law was on there representing the shoe and everything, and I mean, it was a good energy. It wasn't that oh, you suck, no, you suck worse type attitude. It was more of a let's talk it out, let's chop it up, and let's see what we think is going to happen. And it was cool. It was a good energy for the show last night.
Oh yeah, definitely. I hate going on to a show, especially. Having someone on my show who wants to talk smack is one thing, but going to someone else's show and while they're talking smack is something completely different. It's a good thing. I'm so glad Rico's not that way.
Yeah.
Rico's a great guy. We got along great. Talked quite a bit before and after the show. Hopefully, we are also kind of, hammering some points home, talking about some stuff.
Awesome.
So, Nothing technically in the works yet. We're just talking through it, but there might be something in the future. We'll see. But anyhow, we're not here to talk about that. All right. Truitt says, I feel like this is a movie sequel. Law 2. This time, it's personal. All right. All right. Sway says, Lawrence, I wanted to ask you... There are narrative people out there about Wentz in the media about how he isn't elite after 2017 and in 2018, the 11 games he had. I just want to know, how can you do the math on that? I'm just going to say okay, so Wentz, and this is the truth, Wentz is a lot like Josh Allen. You got to take the good with the bad, right? Same with, and I'm not talking about, well, actually skill-wise very similar, but in general aspects, right? He's going to try to make plays when stuff breaks down. It's going to happen. And sometimes this shit's going to be great, and sometimes it's not,
Yeah.
And you just going to have to live with it. Andrew Luck was the same stinking way. How many times with Andrew Luck do you guys remember going, why did he throw that football? Right?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean,
It's
I'm not bashing him. It's just part of his game, right?
it's either why did he throw that football, or it's how did he complete that pass? You know what I mean? It's like with Carson. You know, you get the Michael Pittman toe drag swag on the sideline for 38 yards on 3rd and 7, or you get Carson Wentz throwing this crazy left-handed flippy do thing to Naeem Hines and in the flat. So yeah, you get both. But for me, I love that. I mean, I'm on board for that. We sat there, and I remember for the last couple of years hearing, Jacoby doesn't throw the ball downfield. Phillips doesn't throw. Phil Rivers doesn't throw the ball downfield. This is what everybody's been clamoring for: this excitement, this dynamic play style. So what I would have to say to people is, careful what you wish for, or be grateful for what you wish for. Either way, we got it. It's ours. Let's own it, guys.
Exactly. And the stream is key players to watch out for, and without any question, it is the two quarterbacks starting off right off the bat for both teams, right? Josh Allen, Carson Wentz, both very strong, very, very strong arms, can make questionable decisions, have the ability to extend plays, and put your team either in great situations or put them in bad situations. Generally, you're looking for great situations. And so far this year, Josh Allen's been doing a great job. Carson Wentz has done a great job. He's had, yes, Carson's guaranteed that one stupid what the hell moment every game, okay? I have come to accept that. But I'm okay and willing to accept that for the rest of the play that he does, because you're not going to find a quarterback of his caliber that plays the way he does and gives you what he brings and not have a moment like that occasionally. It's just not going to happen. I don't care who you are. Patrick Mahomes does the same thing, yes, you have those safe quarterbacks. You have the Tom Brady's that's not going to try to fit it between the numbers, he's going to fall down and fold every time. But when he does that, then you have games like what we seen just past week where, if there's no guts, there's no glory sometimes, right? And you end up losing a game you shouldn't. But then you got, times like, well, let's face it, had Wentz not went down in the Rams game, every Colts fan in the world watching that game knows we had a real chance of walking out of that Rams game had Wentz not got hurt rather than our backup going in there. We all know this, So you take up what you could get. Jeremy Minch, appreciate you, brother, being in here. And believe it or not, I used to work with Jeremy. We both worked at the same place for a number of years. Last time he was in here, he was in the chat, and I didn't realize who it was because, I haven't talked to him in a while. He shows up at my freaking front door literally like an hour after I got done with the live stream. And I'm like,
oh, awesome.
What's up, my guy? It took me a minute, but it is what it is. So I appreciate you being out here. Skylar and Kirsten's in here as well. Brandon Wood, Marquis Beverly, Noah Bruno. All you guys, appreciate each and every one of you. Now, I want to hear your thought. Now, I've done a lot of research on Josh Allen. I have watched Josh Allen closely, and I can answer questions from Colts Nation about Josh Allen. He's legit. What are your thoughts, Loyalist, about Josh Allen?
Yeah, well, I've told you guys before. I sort of became familiar with Buffalo Fanatics and stuff because, of petty reasons. I was looking for what team's going to be able to ruin the Patriots' season. I was looking for who's that team, and I looked at Miami, and I looked at the New York for okay, yeah. And then I looked at Buffalo, and I've really, over the last couple of years, love how this team is built. Mm-hmm. I mean, this team is very similar to our Colts. They are doing things, in my eyes, the right way. This isn't an overnight project. This is hey, let's draft this quarterback, and progressively, year after year, watch him elevate his game, and the team just sort of has been elevated and lifted with it. And then, like you said, you sit there and okay, they get themselves in a spot. The Colts went out and got themselves the DeForest Buckner. Well, Buffalo said, you know what, we're going to do something else. We're going to go out and get us a Stephon Diggs. You know what I mean? So, both teams are doing small things in free agency, but they're doing most of their work through the draft and stuff. And I love that concept. I think for me, that's a better long term. And this Buffalo team is complete. Their defense is very good. I mean, I've been watching and even in the games that they perform poorly and stuff, it's the question isn't on the defensive side of the ball with this team. Even in the game they lost, the other team only scored 9 points. You know what I mean? So, so like I said, for me, I love this Buffalo team. The Pittsburgh week 1, you can sort of roll that one up with, okay, whatever. But the thing is I've got to believe Buffalo hates the thought of the AFC South, because you look at their losses. They lost to the Titans. Okay, that was a smash mouth, beat 'em up type of game. Then the Jags come in. Now this weekend they're going to have to deal with us coming in and smashing mouth and doing our best to replicate. I don't think it's going to be the Bills versus the Jags style of game, because I felt like they sort of overlooked the Jags a little bit. And everything I've heard from the Buffalo, like I said, I've been following them for several months now, and everything you hear from them, they respect what the Colts are putting on the field, and there's that equal admiration of both organizations. But like you said, their quarterback, he's a stud. He can run it. He can throw the ball through the smallest of windows. He is let me get rid of this ball through the pass, but if I have to use my feet, okay, I'll be the leading rusher for my team also. You know what I mean? So this guy does carry a lot of exceptional skills that will definitely be a headache for our defense this week.
All right, so let's see here. What's up, Brandon Stothers, Joe Thornburg? Appreciate you being here. Jeffrey Danger, Bills fan, appreciate you. Okay, so here's the deal. Flat fact of the matter is we're going to have to deal with Josh Allen, the Indianapolis Colts. There's just no question about it. I don't think we're going to have to deal with the run game, though. Maybe Josh Allen. Last week, they actually ran the football, and it was like the first time in 2 years I've seen them do it. Okay? It was weird. They're like the polar opposite of what the Colts offense is based off of, right? They're based off of Josh Allen throwing the football, spreading the field out, and opening it underneath so that Josh Allen has more room to run when he decides he wants to, which, I wouldn't understand why you would want that. You wouldn't want your quarterback putting himself in harm's way all the time. But it works for him.
Yeah. It doesn't hurt that he's built like a tank either.
yeah, true enough. The Colts, on the other hand, they got that offensive line. They like to run the football with multiple running backs. Now, the Bills, they use multiple running backs as well, but not to the extent the Colts do, right? We run Taylor heavy. We got Hines. We have Mack. And we run the ball very, very well. I was looking at some stats. The Bills have only played one premier running back all year so far before Jonathan Taylor, and that was Derrick Henry. And that was the game they lost to the Titans. Derrick had 20 carries, 140 yards, and 3 tugs. Okay? I'm looking at this going, so you was able to stop the Jets' run game. Happy for you. Let's stop Jonathan Taylor. Okay?
Yeah.
Another key player in this aspect on offense on both sides of the ball, in my opinion, Jonathan Taylor, and you already named him Stephon freaking Diggs for the Bills. Okay? 2 very prominent guys for both teams. Obviously, the Bills are going to want to stop him. They have the 3rd best rush defense in the NFL currently, but they, like I said, we're going to really test them on that 3rd best rushing defense. They've got a stout defensive line. Where did this defensive line, where was it last year? because it's weird, okay? These guys played solid in 2019. 2020, they went downhill. Same dudes, okay? Minus Greg Rousseau. And then this year, they're playing even better. So it's very, very impressive, but I'm curious if it's because of the competition of the run game is why. Because their pass defense, as you said, is freaking studly, right?
Yeah.
I think they lead the league in interceptions. I think.
Absolutely.
They lead the league in turnovers. And I think it's interceptions that's got them over that loop there. So, between these two offensive guys, obviously, Diggs scares the hell out of me. Not just Diggs, but the entire receiving core. They've got multiple guys they can throw to. Scares the hell out of me. Cole Beasley, I think, is going to get 100 yards on us before Diggs does, though, because that's if Beasley's healthy and is able to play. Beasley's that guy who is able to find, he's that veteran slot receiver that gets in behind linebackers and finds spots in zones and stuff like that, right? That worries me.
He's kind of that guy that, like we grew up watching the Patriots, that slot guy who's just got that exceptional knack of getting open and just making you pay with the intermediate passes and stuff. Yeah, like you said, I like the thought of Kenny Moore on Beasley and see how that battle plays out throughout the weekend.
Ooh, danger, says Star. I'm assuming you're talking about Ludulele. Might be out for this game. That is a big loss if he's gone. He's a solid defensive tackle. We will get to that again. They still got Ed Oliver, they still got Jerry Hughes. They still got Greg Rousseau. Their D-line's still fine. Still fine, okay?
Yeah, and that D-line works a lot like our Colts with switching them out and rotating them out, just super, super deep. And I mean, somebody, I don't even remember where I was in my research, but they were saying, Coach Wright on his interview was saying how these guys are getting some of the least amount of reps because of their depth and their rotation. He says that, these guys don't even average more than 58% of the snaps. So like you said, once one piece falls out, there always seems to be one or two more pieces to fill that gap, that void.
Yeah, definitely. Guys, I want to take a moment since we're about 18 minutes in. Please smash that like button, hit subscribe if you're not subscribed, tag that notification bell so that you are notified next time we go live or upload a video. And of course, all right, if you want to help support the channel outside of that, as you see over there beside Loyalist and below us, we have a little fundraiser going to help Loyalist get himself a laptop so he can help provide stuff on his own, not just with me, and make things easier for himself. Finances are a little tight, between he and I. And this would go a great way of helping us provide more consistent and better content for you. So you can use the link in the description below here to do that. It'll pop up. We will definitely shout you out. Also, don't forget, check us out on Newsbreak. I just popped up some new stuff talking about the Bills, talking about the Cowboys, actually, over on Newsbreak. So go check us out on Newsbreak. Obviously, if you download that and give us a follow, you put money in our pockets. So that's another way you can support us. This video is sponsored by Newsbreak. Newsbreak is an app used over 1.5 billion times a month by people just like you to get local news via articles or videos by those who are focused on that specific area. People like myself. Just use the link in the description of this video to download it. Then search a city, state, or someone specific, like myself, Colts Law. Then make sure to follow them so you'll get all the news fresh as it comes out. What's up, Loyalist? You like Colts memorabilia?
Yes, sir, I do.
Oh,
if there was only a place that I could get some.
Right? Okay, so obviously you guys know I have a merch shop. The link to my merch shop is in the description below. But I am supported by the Backroom Collection. They make great canvas work. Not just Colts, all NFL, including Bills stuff. Okay? Including Bills stuff, Jeff. Okay, so you can go out and get some stuff like this. They also have great signed pieces and stuff. Just make sure the link is in the description. When you use that, no matter what team or player or whatnot you're buying, make sure you use my discount code. They got some really good stuff. Please go check it out. This channel is proudly sponsored by the Backroom Collection. They do beautiful sports canvas art with football, basketball, baseball, and other sports themes. Special orders are accepted and autograph pieces are available. Many Indianapolis Colts signed pieces will be available beginning in November. Just use your discount code CL10 to purchase the pieces you want to spice up your living area. That's CL10. Speaking of Bill stuff, did you see it was Diggs and Allen swinging right by there? Man, it was pretty cool. But of course, you saw the Taylor and the Darius Leonard. Yep. Obviously, man, they got great stuff. So we need to discuss the other guys. Let's flip over to that defense. We talked a little bit about the defensive line of the Bills. You need to watch DeForest freaking Buckner in this game.
Yeah.
After talking to my boy Rico yesterday, holy cow, I'm expecting a monster day from Defoe. What about you, Loyalist?
Yeah, I was sitting there listening because, you sit there and you watch it and you try to figure out what's this team's kryptonite and stuff, you know what I mean? And then you find out, okay, the reason this team doesn't run real well is because they don't have the Colts offensive line blocking for them, you know what I mean? Because Singletary and what's the other kid's name? Their other running back. You got Singletary, Breda,
Moss,
yeah. These guys are decently, skilled running backs and stuff. They just aren't getting the holes to run in. And then you sit there and, like you said, what the day I imagine that DeForest and Stallworth are going to have with that interior, because from what we found out last night, guys, their offensive line, especially their left side of their offensive line, is their big concern. And then I sit there and I think about the weekend that we had with our defensive line, just in the pickup and pressures and sacks and stuff. Last week Quiddy woke up and came out and represented real well. Odangbo. There you go. You see, if he'd have been playing all year, I'd have already had this one worked out. But I really am very excited to see what the entire defensive line does with their offensive line, because we've sat there and we talked about it. This quarterback is only as good as the amount of time that he has to throw the ball. So if this defensive line can get that pressure, especially up the middle with DeForest and stuff on their guards, because from the way I understood it, basically both their guards are center and their left tackle is, their right tackle is their most comfortable piece for them. And even there, it's not 100% as we are with, that we've come accustomed to with our offensive line. So I love hearing it, because this defensive line, and where's some of our best depth come from in our defensive line? Let's get these guys out. Let's get Kamoku Toure. Let's get, all these motors out there just running and keep making, keep getting Josh just this whole day of headaches. Is it coming from over here? Is it coming up the gut? Let's get in this guy's head and don't give him the chance to find Stephon Diggs 45 yards down in the field.
Well, scary is last wild card game, the Colts defense was able to do that. They had him out of the pocket every 5 seconds, chasing him down, but they just didn't have the speed to close in and get him before he was able to throw stupid sideline passes, not just to Diggs, but to Davis and McKenzie and Beasley, and I'm just like, this is getting ridiculous. This is getting ridiculous. We got to stop this guy, right?
Yeah.
We have a very good defensive tackles. Very, very solid defensive tackles. Rotation of defensive tackles. Stallworth has been stepping up as of late as well, obviously, to go along with our boy Grover Stewart and DeForest Buckner. So I'm hoping that our defensive tackles get that inside pressure, force Josh Allen out. I want to see some corner blitzes in this game.
Yeah.
Didn't see much last game. I want to see it this game.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think Kenny Moore is going to be such a pivotal piece. For me, I like him blitzing from all over the field. Basically, he's an exceptional blitzer, and and put that pressure on. And the thing is he's a very, very qualified tackle. It's not like when he gets there that he doesn't. No matter. Okay, yes, I understand. Josh Allen is twice the size of Kenny Moore. But what's that? Darius says it's not the size of the bark or something. The dog is a bite or whatever. However it is you put that. Kenny Moore, bite him at the ankles. Go Detroit on him, man. Just don't let Josh Allen out of the pocket. Keep him in there. Sort of that Lamar Jackson technique. Let's keep him in the pocket, but like you said, let's get him down whenever we have the opportunity.
Yeah, I'm wondering if oh, by the way, what's up, Donnie Martin? Appreciate you being in here as well. Sinking Bait. Obviously, we got a lot of people in here, and I don't know what the weather is for this game yet, Jeff. And when it comes to the Bills game, being that it's in Buffalo, and sorry.
Yeah, and the weather. Yeah, from what they've said, guys, is the weather. The worst case scenario right now is maybe a little bit of light snow flurry, but it's basically just going to be cold. The precipitation is supposed to be limited from what their early predictions are and stuff. And and there was a lot of talk this week with the Colts and stuff, and they said that it wasn't rain and wind. Those are the two big ones. It's the cold weather and stuff. That's not nearly as big of an issue. So going to Buffalo, yes, it's going to stink playing in the cold, but here in Indiana, it's not like we're in the bombing confines of, and these guys can go outside and they can practice and they can get acclimated to it to some extent. And I don't think that for our guys, for the style of ball that we play, I really do believe that this weather isn't going to be nearly as big of an issue for us. Now granted, if it goes out and if we find out that they drop 1.5 feet of snow, then that's going to be able to be a different situation. But even then, that sort of fits into what this team, because I feel like the Colts are built perfectly to compete against. The Colts are built perfectly to compete against the Bills because we have a run game. We have good fast defensive rush. We play this zone to hopefully keep all the deep passes to a minimum. I feel like this matchup is one of the better ones for the Colts this year.
Sorry about that. I'm still dealing with recovery from the COVID, and I still go through that. The more I talk, the worse I start feeling. So it happens. Also want to bring up, we're talking about Buffalo here, guys. There's lake effect, right? That could change like that, in a heartbeat. It could be sunny and 40 degrees, and then an hour later, it could be 31 degrees and a blizzard. You don't know. Buffalo's weird, especially in the winter. So keep an eye. I think our run game will help if it is a snow game. We remember the last time there was a snow game between the Colts at Buffalo, and that was with Frank Gore and Adam Vinatieri, and then all that snow all over the ground. Oh my goodness! So I'm used to lake effect snow. I'm kind of mid-northern Indiana, right there by Michigan. It hits me once in a while. I'm not quite in the worst part of it, like way up there around South Bend and stuff, but it still affects me occasionally. Let me see here. I want to know their defense. Obviously, Trey White has been having a heck of a season this year. Okay, Tre'Davious White is playing his butt off. But Michael Pittman Jr. is playing his butt off too. Okay, and last year, Trey had issues with Michael Pittman Jr. I think Michael had over 100 yards on him and a touchdown or two. So, that's a thing. But then after that, I'm a little worried because they do have a very good secondary. What are we going to do about extra? Oh, well, you know what? I have to pause for this station identification as the new Colts Law / Fuzzy Whistler show is now going. Fuzzy dropping another $25 in the tip jar for Loyalist Laptop. We appreciate that so much. Man, Fuzzy, that's all it is. It's just Fuzzy. I'm gonna have to rename the show the Fuzzy Law Show. Actually, I got fuzzy stuff everywhere. I got a little bit of fuzzy jacket going on, So there you go. But Trey's solid. What are we gonna do after that? How's T.Y. handling himself? Is Zach Pascal gonna be able to get himself open occasionally? And then, of course, what about other players? Our tight ends, they're usually pretty good at stopping tight ends, but we got two tight ends. We haven't seen a lot of Mo Alley Cox the last few games. Could this be his game? Are they going to be worried about putting Matt Milano on Jack Doyle? And next thing you know, Mo Alley Cox is out there catching those 20-yard passes for touchdowns. I want to know. What are your thoughts, Loyalist?
Yeah, I agree. First off, the Buffalo secondary. I mean, yes, White has been playing out of his mind, and I do like some of these individual matchups. Earlier, we talked about Kenny Moore versus Beasley. Here, you're talking about Pittman Jr. versus Trey White. And the thing is I like what Pittman brings because he's got that size. You know what I mean? I know Trey White's no mini-me or anything, but he still seems to have a little bit more complications with the 6'4", 6'5" type, big body receiver. Go figure. You know what I mean? And that and the thing is I hope that Carson, whoever he finds, I don't care if it's Ashton Dulin, if it's Zach Pascal, I hope he starts using a little bit more of the intermediate routes because I feel like that is something that could really play well with our run to turn a 15-yard pass and give the playmakers the opportunity to turn it into that 30 and 40-yard gashing plays and stuff because I really don't want to see Carson Wentz trying to hold on to the ball for 4.5, 5 seconds till T.Y. or Michael Pittman Jr. gets open 30 or 40 yards because, guys, this D-line, I mean, I love Quentin Nelson. You guys know I love Quentin. There's another individual match. He is going to have to pack a lunch this weekend for this D-line. They have got some beasts there on the interior line. So, I mean, the individual matchups are just, they make you want to just sort of, water at the mouth. Oh, man, yeah, I can't wait. But I do hope to see, like you said, I think Ashton Doolin's going to come out and he's going to open up some ice in this game. And I do think that Kylan Granson and Wiley Cox has the opportunity to go out and form at a higher level than what we saw over the last couple of weeks, like you said.
See, we were talking about the run game and letting that kind of dictate the game, and Brandon Wood brought that up as well. I'm wondering, are the Bills' defensive coordinator, are they worried a little bit about Jonathan Taylor? Are they going to bring a safety up? Donnie Martin mentioned the safeties earlier, Hyde and Pryor. One of those guys going to come up to help against the run, load that box up a little bit. You do realize Jonathan Taylor averages more against a loaded box than he does against a normal box. That's nuts. He averages 6.9 yards per carry against a loaded box of 8+ guys. That's crazy. It's because of the speed. Now, the great thing is the last few games, there's been a lot more RPOs. The beginning of the season, it started off a lot of play action, and we still use play action a lot, but it's turned more into an RPO situation, and that allows Carson Wentz to read and direct where the ball goes quicker rather than the play action, especially those ugly ones where, you know, he turns his back to the freaking line. I hate play action where you turn your back to the line because, you know, they lose track of where the pressure's coming from for a half a second. And I don't like that.
Like when you're inside the 5 against the Rams. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But Y Sway says, I feel like Hines in for a big game if we do have to get pass heavy. And it's possible. I mean, you're still going to have to pass the football because the Bills could lock in on the run, you know, to try to stop the run, which means we'll have to pass and take advantage of that. If the Colts end up 15 runs in this game, I'll guarantee Colts Nation will blow up social media.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, blow it up. Be like, what the heck are they only running 15? But if the safeties are down constantly, I would expect the Colts to pass the ball a little bit quicker, you know? And obviously you're still going to want to test it, keep them honest, run the ball occasionally so that they don't know that you're going to pass it all the time or don't know you're going to run it every time. But like I said, circumstances dictates outcome, you know? And it's happened before in other games where, you know, defenses are like, you know what, we're not going to let you beat us with the run. You're going to have to pass it against us. Well, we went and got Carson Wentz so that we could do stuff like that. We got to let him pass. Do I want to see him throw it 40, 50 times? Hell no. Hell no.
All right.
But I can see 30 to 35 max.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. Yeah, and to your point with, you know, when they load the box and stuff, I mean, on Twitter, Colts Nation, if you're on Twitter at all, there's a gold retriever mom that's constantly out there giving the points of view.
She's in here right now. It's Wentz season.
Awesome. Yeah. Yes, it is. This week it's gold retriever my baby. She made a point or he made a point. I'm not even sure who it is. But you know, when they load the box and stuff, JT takes advantage of that because once you get through that first level of people trying to stop him and stuff, then all of a sudden he's got a one-on-one against a safety or he's got nobody. You know what I mean? He's already broken into the free. And like you said, JT's top end speed, I just don't feel like the league is caught on. But I do have a question for you, Law. Okay? We sit there and we talk about, for me personally, this is no slight to Buffalo's run defense, okay? But I'm much more of this Colts team. I want them to attack their run defense more than their pass defense. But I do understand that you have to have a good balance. But my question is, has Michael Pittman made enough of an impression on the league now that they're going to start finding that the safeties are going to start cheating over towards more of the Michael Pittman side of the field if he's, goes out on a long to the right side of the field, and then all of a sudden do we find T.Y. Hilton in a one-on-one situation on the other side of the field? Is this where T.Y. starts getting that advantage of this young receiver corps starting to make a name for themselves? What do you think?
It's possible. It's possible. But in a game like against the Bills, I would not be surprised. Trey White's good. They have a lot of faith in Tre'Davious White. I expect them to say, you know what, whoever the Trey gets put on, he's going to lock him down, and we're going to put him on an island. I can see that, and they'll have faith in that until it's proven otherwise. Not saying it will happen. I'm just saying, unless Michael Pittman starts going out there and just catching everything like he was, mossing people against other teams. If he starts mossing Trey White, then he'll get that help. But against Buffalo, I don't see that happening. The Bucks might do that. The Bucks might because they don't have a guy, in my opinion, that can handle the big wide receiver one-on-one the way the Bills do. That's my opinion, though. Gardoki's Playground's in here. Appreciate you being in here. Brendan Wood. RTDB. And he said it like
Yes,
15
sir.
times. I don't care who's in front of us. Run the damn ball. And it's true. There was a run. There was a run where in the game against Jacksonville, Jonathan Taylor missed an opportunity to hit a home run late in the game. All right, he missed. It was there. That crease where you see the crease and he hits the crease. Usually he'll hit that crease, and then there's like open field after a loaded box, and he's just gone for like a 60-yard touchdown or something. He had that opportunity. He missed the crease. He cut inside instead of outside behind the blocker of Chris Reed, and I was like, oh no. Because the All-22's out for it, and I was watching the All-22, and I was like, oh, he missed it. I'm not going to bring it up because, I'll get chewed up by Colts Nation going, what are you going to bring up bad stuff for? He's done enough already. And I agree with you guys. He's done enough. The keys are in there. He's done enough. He has the right to miss the whole, for a big gun play occasionally. Just, I happened to see it that time.
Do you think we'll see any Marlon Mack this week? Do you think that he might actually stay active to give the Buffalo run defense another thing to think about?
With the way the Colts are running a lot, have you noticed that the Colts are running a lot of 22 and 23 formations, 2 running backs, 2 tight ends, or 3 tight ends, but 2 running backs? I hope to see them use Marlon Mack a little bit more, especially in 3rd and long situations or 2nd and really long, like 2nd and 15, because we all know that there's going to be a holding penalty at some point that's going to call back a 33-yard freaking Jonathan Taylor run,
Yeah.
Because it seems like it happens every other freaking game. All right. Oh, that's so frustrating. But
the reason I asked was because I was sitting here, watching you guys on the show last night, and I was listening to how you talked about Matt Breida, how, they ought to, late third, early fourth quarters and stuff, start bringing in those fresh legs and stuff. And I was thinking to myself, could you imagine this defense after taking, because this is going to be a physical game. If this is a game with any competition as far as on the scoreboard at all, this is going to be one of those gritty, grimy, awesome slobber knocker type, the interior is going to be the ones that really dictate where this game goes, I think, in the long run. But the thing is, if you sit there and you bring in a Marlon Mack who's, heck, he hasn't even been active for the last 3 games. 3 games, I think.
2.
So his legs are, was it 2? Okay. So his legs are going to be super fresh. Let's get him out there and let's get him, 7 or 8 carries later in the game and put them defenders that have been out there doing the struggle all game long. Sit there and say, okay, now how you feel about trying to catch these fresh legs flying around the corner?
Yeah. No. Sorry, Brandon Wood says that Reich said that his presser today that Mack is only a scratch because of special teams needs. The Colts are healthy right now. They have all their guys and their special teams guys. We finally got Jordan Glasgow back and other guys that play special teams. We should be able to have Mack back and have the 3-headed, the 3 horsemen sitting back there in the stable, right? I hope so.
I do too, because this would be a great game to get a little bit of film where he's gashing these guys for 8, 12, 15-yard runs and stuff. And this will be a great film for him to put out for next year's free agency bid.
Absolutely. Guys, it's 45 minutes in. Please smash that like button, hit subscribe if you're not subscribed. Tag that notification bell. Share the stream to your favorite social media. I don't know. There's so much stuff you guys could do. But I appreciate each and every one of your guys' support. All of you are awesome. Remember I was talking earlier about my merch shop? Well, the link is in the description. Make sure to check out the Colts Law merch shop. The link is in the description of this video. There are a ton of high quality, reasonably priced items there that you can choose from. And all you got to do is just click one button, and you can go and check out all these great merchandise items. Joe,
and let me tell you guys.
Go ahead.
Let me tell you guys, if you're going up to Buffalo to watch the game, this hoodie and a T-shirt, all you need, guys. This thing will keep you nice and cozy.
Yeah. Raw 94, appreciate you being in here. Says playoff rematch. Absolutely. Joe 561 says hopefully Buckner could get better. Buckner's fine. Buckner is double and triple teamed every play. And when you are double and triple teamed every play, that means everyone else on the line has to step up and beat their one-on-ones. Okay? It's just flat fact. And Grover Stewart hasn't been able to do that as of late. He's holding his own for the run game, but he's not able to get through for that, pass rush. Quiddy Pay's been able to. I'm seeing Kamoko Toure lately. Really all season, whenever he's out there, he seems like he's doing something. Pay, obviously, what we talked about. Interesting how we're seeing Dio. But yeah, I like what Buckner's doing. I can't complain.
I think what Joe may be referring to is on the injury report today. He didn't practice, and then he has an ankle, a back, and I think it was stomach, and there may even been a fourth thing. So he was just like, man, can we just narrow it down to one problem?
Yeah, he just said, I'm talking health-wise. Well, last year he was playing with a club. This year he's playing with a club. I seen the club in the game against Jacksonville, but it's not the same, injury. But he's still out there giving it his all, just like Darius Leonard is. With that stupid ankle of his. There was so much tape on that foot. Oh my goodness! When he went down, and there was a timeout, and we're sitting there watching him, during the game. I seen all that tape. I was like, if they try to take that tape off and replace it, he ain't coming back until the Buffalo game. That'll be about the time that they got all the tape off and replaced the tape, Like, holy, there's no way. He's got so much tape. He's got to keep that tape on all week. He showers with the tape,
I was sitting there thinking about that. I bet the Colts were thankful that last week's game was here close to home because they were able to drive over to 56th Street and resupply the stop, because you've got to imagine between Quentin and Darius alone. The guys came out looking like, you know what? We ran out of tape. We're out here playing and giving it our all.
Yeah. Darren Manus says Stallworth's going to have a day, I think. Stallworth has been doing very well. Terrence Woodard says, how about Big Q's big cankle? Holy crap. It looked like they cut the freaking Stay Puft Marshmallow Man's arm off and just kind of like squished it over Quentin Nelson's ankle. Because it was a huge poofy thing.
And it doesn't help that Quentin Nelson has that sort of that pigeon-toed gait and stuff, so he just comes through, grr, 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 you know what I mean? You can see this big ball, like you said, this big Stay Puft looking ankle coming by every step or two.
Yeah, Brandon said, talking about the whole Nelson's ankle. Yeah, Nelson's ankle was different than Leonard's. Leonard's is all tape. I have no idea what the hell they did to Quentin Nelson's ankle. That was some funky shit. I never seen nothing like that. That was some jury-rigged stuff on the sideline when he went down with his ankle injury. That's what that was, There was like, somebody get me 1,500 plastic bags. We're going to wrap it around there and tape it on there or something. They did something like that. I don't know what it was. Go get me some bubble wrap so we can tape that on his ankle. I don't know, but it was some crazy stuff.
They had to do something until somebody got back for 56th Street with the backup supplies.
All right. This is a game that's a bit scary. We're 50 minutes in. We're not giving predictions in this game, in this stream.
Okay.
That'll be the Friday game. That'll be our game breakdown. We're just basically talking about guys we need to keep an eye on. So those of you watching that are Bills fans that are watching, please share this. Let everybody know we're going to do our game breakdown and our predictions on Friday. Okay, so make sure you come back and check that out. Appreciate all of you guys that are in here. Raw94 says that he expects the Colts to win by a touchdown. Like I said, though, I'm not going to do that at all. I'm not going to talk about that. Frank McMahon's in here, says the Bills' number 1 ranked D is number 1 because they shut out the Texans and the Dolphins. Well,
that's something I wanted to mention. Okay, guys, and this is not a slight to Buffalo, okay? But, we sit there and we talk about from the Colts perspective, okay, we've only beaten Miami's and the Texans, okay? Here's who Buffalo has beaten. They've beaten the Dolphins twice, okay? They've turned around, they beat the Texans, I think it was. No, honestly, guys, Washington and the Chiefs was their only two, and quite honestly, the Chiefs aren't sorry, guys. The Chiefs haven't been playing, what we've come to accustomed with from the Chiefs. So, like I said, this Buffalo team, yes, some of the points they were hanging up offensively on some of these guys was stupid crazy. Okay, I agree with that. But there again, I do like the matchup and the individual matchups and just all the, like you said, all the little storylines. I mean, like I said, Quentin Nelson and him trying to deal with, interior lineman for the Bills. Okay. His name will come to my mind when Oliver. Thank you. I was like, I knew it wasn't a tricky name either, but yeah, Ed Oliver. I think that has a chance to be one of the better matchups for me. There again, for me, I feel like has a chance to be an epic battle, and I hope he's feeling closer to 100% than he is the 80% mark.
All right, Miles in here with a super chat off YouTube says, I saw your interview on Strong Opinion Sports. You're awesome, dude. Thank you so much, man. I thoroughly enjoyed being on that show as well. Man, I'm trying to get my brand out there a little bit, talk football. I don't just talk Colts. I talk NFL, all right? I watch a lot of tape, all right, so I could go out here and talk football with guys. Not just because of that, but, because I do that. Did I just say do on stream?
You said he started throwing in the profanity and doo-doo, guys.
That's right. We are talking right now like we're in middle school, making fun of the fact that I just said doo-doo. All right. And we are, not teenagers, but it was still kind of funny. But, Miles, appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much. Wentz season wants to know if that was an air cast on Nelson's ankle. Not like any air cast I have ever seen, okay? Most air casts I've ever seen are hard plastic on the outside. They got this blue gel that has air pockets that you air up with a little pump on the outside and then Velcro that wraps around, okay? That's an air cast. Those are mostly the air casts that I've seen. This poofy thing that I saw on Nelson's ankle was nothing I have never seen before in my life. All right, it was something weird. Nomadic Brian jumps in here with his prediction, 27-24 Colts. Delusional Pats fan, what's up? Says, I think the Colts got this one. I'm sure you do. I'm sure you're rooting for us to beat them because you're right there. You want to jump in, and try to take your division back from the Bills. Yeah.
That was something I got sidetracked. Anyhow, but that was the thing. These guys really haven't beaten a lot of the upper echelon of the league this year. And the thing is, guys, I sat there and I drew comparisons earlier from the Colts and the Bills. I honestly think that we can have a chance. Okay, because now, mind you, Buffalo, we go out there and we start, putting all this pressure on them, and they start stinking it up offensively or whatever. And I'm telling you right now, I can see this Colts defense taking the Buffalo fan base, taking them out of the game, making them less of a factor. Because right now they're sort of like we are. The Colts, we get a lead or whatever. We're just sort of like, okay, are we going to start playing that prevent? Are we going to get? Well, Buffalo's the same way. Whenever things don't start clicking right off the gate, these guys are ready. They're frustrated with their running. They're frustrated with their offensive line. If our defense can start putting some pressure early in this game and get in Josh Allen's head, I'm telling you right now, this game is wide open for us. Okay, and to me, this is one of those games. This is November football. This is everything that we keep talking about. November, December football. This is when you find out if you're a playoff team. So there again, I feel like this is a massive statement game, and not to mention, this Colts organization. We feel. You can hear it in the interviews. These guys have not forgotten about the experience of last year's playoffs. Okay, and this is a very good team. And then you. I don't know where this plays, but a lot of these guys get hyped on the whole hard knocks concept and getting their. You were talking about your brand. Well, they're getting their brand out there. You know what I mean? So this is. Could you imagine the storyline? We go out there and we hang a L on this Buffalo team, and all of a sudden now these guys and this whole public persona, that this public snowball thing that we've been seeing build up over the last few weeks. Now the nation might start to get to see a little bit of that.
Yeah, it's possible. Here's the thing, okay? This game can take multiple routes. You got to remember, this is the number 1 and number 2 turnover defense in the NFL. All right, both these guys very good at getting defenses. One team's better at getting interceptions. The other team's better at forcing fumbles and grabbing those suckers out. Leonard. But
that cough didn't sound as aggressive.
Yeah. But so this is a game that could turn on a dime. Okay, you could be watching this game and one team could be up 3 scores, like 17 points, right? And then the next thing you know, it's a tie ball game or a 1-score game, in a 5-minute span, because of the way both these teams can get the football. So really, this is a game where both defenses are going to be, still jostling to get the ball like they have been all year. But I'll guarantee you the coaches are talking to the offenses going, make sure you don't give the ball away, okay? Because, Buffalo doesn't want to turn the ball over and let Jonathan Taylor make their defense even more tired by running it down their throat. And there's no way on God's green earth I want Josh Allen to have extra freaking turns with the football, okay? So, yeah, definitely both these teams are going to be watching not to turn the football over, even though they have the best turnover defenses in the NFL.
Yeah, and Carson, quit trying to show us your impersonation of Steve Young. Okay, man? Let's just stick with the right hand. Okay, I understand you're working on this whole left hand thing and everything, and you're trying to get that timing or whatever. Not against this secondary, not against this defense. I say second. This defense from line all the way back is amazing. Is Edmonds going to be back this week? Do you know? I wasn't able to find that out yet. For Buffalo?
I haven't seen.
Okay, yeah, so I'm not sure. But like I said, these are not guys that you want to sit there and start throwing these left-handed lollipops out there, because they will take advantage of it.
Yeah, I haven't looked. I don't look personally. I don't look at a injury report until Friday, because that's when you get your better feel for who's going to make it, who's not going to make it. It's the Friday one, because some guys who just have a bunch of injuries but will be able to play will just be resting those injuries. Midway through the season, late season. It's that Friday practice that's important. I remember DeQuell telling me that a couple weeks ago. Said just watch the Friday. If they're playing, they'll practice. So, all right, guys, I appreciate all of you. It's been an hour. Had a blast talking. Don't forget that we will be back Friday to discuss the game itself, break it down, give predictions on how everything's going to go, because, we'll have the injury report. We'll know a little bit more about what's been going on, all that neat stuff. But thanks so much. Please smash that like button. Subscribe if you're not subscribed, while Loyalist is over here doing his best impression of me. But any final words before we get the hell out of here, Loyalist?
No, like I said, guys, this is going to be, honestly, this is going to be the best game of the week, if you ask me. I'm not sure why this game can't be flexed to Sunday night or something, because, no knock to Pittsburgh or whatever. I think that this has got a chance to be the game of the week, no matter what the outcome is. Both of these teams have a lot on the line, and I believe that the character and just the November mentality and stuff is going to start rising to the top.
All right, guys. We will see you Friday. I might drop something tomorrow. Definitely don't forget Patreon. I'm still going to do my Patreon live only stream tomorrow. Guys, if you're not part of Patreon, it's only $5 a month. What are you waiting for? Link is in the description. I do Patreon only streams. I missed it last week due to COVID. I will be there this week. Make sure you go check it out. Speed Maverick Garage. What's up, company? Eagles, appreciate you being here. Says, my bell didn't let me know that this was on again. Bummer. You can rewatch it, dude. I appreciate you being in here. And we will talk to you, those of you who are not patron members. We'll see you Friday. Patron members, we'll talk to you tomorrow. Until next time, I'm Lawrence Owen. That's Loyalist. And as usual, have a good one.
Just because a player's not a household name doesn't mean we can't make him a household name.